Black market crayfish seller turns out to be dealing something else.
Hey, do I have to have that from my face? No.
Paua poachers in Northland make a dash for freedom.
Stop, mate, stop!
And double trouble for the Coast Guard, with a sinking dinghy and a man overboard.
Watch out for anything in the water, eh?
Waitara Police Station, Taranaki. Fishery officers and police are assembling for an early morning raid on a suspected crayfish poacher.
This morning we're executing what's called an APE at a local address. This chap is believed to be selling black market crayfish, taking crayfish by illegal methods, namely using baited nets, possible links to Asian networks. Hopefully this ATE will clarify a few things and further our inquiries.
We'll search warrant here in relation to the Ministry of Fisheries.
While the officers serve a search warrant on a woman who's still in bed,
To tell you not advised to say anything unless you wish to do so, but you can take if you dress or whatever you do and come out, okay?
her partner arrives outside.
Morning, Phil.
And the man isn't pleased about being the centre of attention.
Hey, do I have to have that from my face? No.
But he agrees to go to the MFish officers for questioning. Leaving the rest of the team to search the property.
I'm just having a look in the suspect's vehicle, looking for cell phones, any documents, diaries, etc. that may indicate he's been trading crayfish on the black market. Just looking for names, contacts, anything that might indicate a network or friends and associates involved. Basically, we'll go for there, anything with money transactions, obviously. Anything that points to his involvement in the offending.
There's plenty of evidence of seafood on the property and the equipment used to gather it. And some fish in freezers in the back shed.
There's a lot of unprocessed frozen fish in there, probably bait. And in this one, there's some crayfish, but not in huge quantities. Let's see how many there are in there, I suppose.
The suspect is clearly a keen hunter and fisherman. Question is, has he been breaking the rules?
Okay, stepping back, yep.
So far, they've found just a modest quantity of crayfish.
11 crayfish, that's just basically what any recreational fish can take over 2 days. So it's not of any kind of evidential value, really.
But out in the garden, the officers have found something of interest to the police.
Oh, the smell is just pungent.
A rather large cannabis crop. The police seize the plants as evidence. And in a garden shed, there's yet more cannabis, dried and bagged, ready for sale.
Nothing else in here? Not that I saw, no. Cool.
And with the cannabis and the crayfish seized, and the property thoroughly searched, the officers' work here is done. Later in the day, the fisheries patrol boat returns from a trip around the Waitara shoreline, retrieving the suspect's nets.
So this is one of the set nets that we recovered from one of the points that were located on from the notebook this morning. One of the GPS waypoints we found. This is one of 2 nets we found. Set nets can't be more than 60 metres in length, so we're going to lay it out, see what sort of length we've got here, see what's actually contained in the net and hopefully untangle them and go from there.
First up, Jeff uncovers a large crayfish and a small shark.
Look at that cray there.
And there are plenty more where they came from.
At this stage we've laid out the net, we believe it probably over 60 metres, probably closer to 65. What a mess. And anything caught in a net that is over 60 metres recreationally, it becomes illegal also. You can see how they just can't get themselves out. That once they're in, well and truly entangled, and it's it, all over for them.
There's no disputing the quality of the catch.
It's probably a good 4-pound crayfish. Very nice. Pretty good crayfish, really.
But there are serious doubts about the method.
It's non-selective, catches anything, and I think commercial fishermen and the general recreational fisher, they'd be disgusted by this method of fishing.
With 4 dead crayfish secured as exhibits, it's back to untangling the net to get an accurate measurement, and the officers soon discover another no-no.
Looks like here, just at this part, 2 nets joined together. Yeah, it is. It's a clear join too, eh? Look, but you're only allowed 1 set net. So more questions.
And after moving up the length of the net with his trusty tape measure, Jeff reaches a grand total of
62.73 metres, so it's over 60 metres, so it's an illegal net, oversized.
Next day, M-Fish confiscate the suspect's boat and 4-wheel drive and take them back to the base.
Well, this concludes a rather successful operation. A Waitara gentleman was spoken to today, admitted offences pertaining to that net, and as a result we've gone back to his address, seized the vehicle and boat believed to be responsible for the offending. The boat and vehicle's fate will be decided after the prosecution process, and it's up to the court to decide what happens. That's a great result, and I think the guys will be celebrating over a pizza this afternoon.
The offender was fined $750 plus court costs for cultivating and possessing cannabis, and was ordered to perform 280 hours community service for possessing rock lobster for sale. His boat and fishing gear were forfeited to the Crown. In Whangarei, Ministry of Fishery Officers are preparing for another battle in the ongoing war against Paua poachers. This is a big operation, with 12 staff and 4 quad bikes to be taken the 150-kilometre journey to Ojai Beach north of Dargaville. The officers include veterans like Henry and a few newbies.
This is Marcy Cook. She's the centrefold in the 2007 Fisheries calendar.
Yeah, that's me. These type of things are pretty exciting for us, I suppose. They can be scary at the same time. I've only been over there once, so I'm not really sure what to expect.
It's an area that's quite well known for excess Paua. I mean, we talk about guys getting hundreds of Paua, not 20 or 30.
After a 2-hour journey across to the west coast, Henry and the other officers are driving through a forest near the isolated Ojai Beach. From here on, they have to play things very cagily.
It's a coastline that's covered in bush, and it's not hard for people just to come straight off the beach, off the rocks, and walk into the forest, and then it's near impossible to find them. So the window that we have to inspect them is really small.
While Henry settles in to observe the beach from a high vantage point, other officers approach the beach from lower down, behind the sand dunes. Suddenly Marcy, who's up front on the quad bike, spots something suspicious.
Got 3 people with backpacks on just up ahead on the beach.
3 people ready to go just south of the Orange Rocks. Fairly well organised, good backpacks. Now putting on wetsuits.
Yeah, copy. I've got them in view. All stations, we have the 3 divers near the Orange Rocks are in the water, over.
Now all they can do is wait.
Yeah, all 3 are still in the water. I'll tell you when they're leaving, over.
Okay, I've got a visual on the 3 guys that are in the water just over here. Just looks like they are diving up and down, obviously for Paua.
They're allowed 10 per person, 125 mil, and I suppose it's not fair prejudging them, but they went out with a couple of big sacks. You probably don't need that to take your 10 Paua, and they've been out there for a while. Their activities suggest that they are taking more than they should be.
Suddenly, Henry notices that one of the divers is heading towards Marcy's position.
You know the orange rock point? He's walking out there now. He's still on the southern side of it, but he's walking out to the point.
Okay, we've just got to move because one of the divers is coming for a bit of a walk around this point here, which is just below us, and we've just got to move around the corner.
He's at the water's edge on this side of that point, of Orange Rocks Point.
If we get burnt, if he sees us, chances are he'll probably do a runner into the water and dump it, and we would have got nowhere by that because we can't. He won't have it on himself, so we've got to stay well out of sight, so we can't do that, so we don't get caught.
He's getting even closer. They have to move again. But thankfully, the man returns to his mates. And it's not long before the other two divers are out of the water.
Okay, all stations. Looks like they're getting dressed now. Wetsuit's coming off. I'll let you know.
It's now time for Marcy's first power bust, although there's still a chance that these guys are legitimate. But a good sign that they are not will be if they make a run for it.
Yeah, got my handcuffs. Hope I don't have to use them.
Thankfully, she's got old hands like Bruce for backup.
Go on, Brucey. Oh yes, I'm excited. Better than going fishing.
But today's catch might be getting away.
Hey, fellas. Hey? That's right, mate. Stop, mate. Stop. Stop. Eric, stop. How much have you got in there?
Probably more than my share, I suppose.
More than your share? Okay, Chris, we're just talking to them now. Do you know how many you're allowed?
What is it?
I'm just going to basically count them and measure them, and then I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I'm not going to actually take these home and eat them all myself. These are all going to some old people that can't make it down here, you know, so
Okay.
it's not as if we're gluttons.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. And I'll just measure them.
This guy also has too many power. His mate is also in trouble and needs a smoke to calm his nerves.
I'll just go and get some cigarette paper.
And he's not happy to be caught on film.
With that, mate. Well, the guy's obviously taken more than he should have. He's allowed a total of 10 for the day, and he's got far more than that. He's got 28. So he's more than 2 times his daily limit. That would be a fine of, I'd say, $500 or more for today's effort.
Wanted a feed, man, from a family. What else do you take him for? It's my bloody home. I've been living here for 40, 50 years.
At least he gets to keep the legal size power.
At least my old grandmother will get a feed, eh?
Yeah, what is it?
So, you can have the onion set.
Oh, we're just going to go throw these back in the...
Yeah, go on, yeah.
In the sea. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
But for Marcy's man, the news is a bit worse.
It's hard to think that it's a crime, you know, when you're saying I'm getting caught.
This guy's got 56. 56 over 3 times the limit, so it'll be a prosecution. Of his 56, he's got 4 that are of legal size. Like serious non-commercial offending. Will be a court case. Yeah, it's the smallest one we've got so far today. It's 80 millimetres.
Well, my understanding is that the power up around the 80 mils and a bit over are the main breeding stock, and these, of course, are your main breeding stock. And unfortunately, power, when they're cut, the the animal's blood doesn't coagulate like ours, so if they're using a screwdriver like these guys have been and they cut them, they bleed to death. So even though we put these back into the environment, a lot of them will die, but at least they become part of the food chain.
It's good to catch them because every little bit counts. I mean, out of this area, that sort of amount's probably getting taken all the time, so good to catch them. They should have known better. Yeah, good result.
The men were fined for having excess and undersized Paua. Auckland Coast Guard vessel Alpha has been called out to help some men trying to right a capsized dinghy.
These guys have come across and asked us to give them a hacksaw and stuff to try and cut this motor off, so we're just going to go and see if we can assist them. We might even pull it up the other way and refloat it and pump it out, but we'll just go and see what they want to do.
The volunteers quickly assessed the problem.
The three gentlemen here have come to pick up their mate's boat that's got a big split through the hull. They're just going to take it into tow themselves now back to Surfdale, which is down on Waiheke. So we're just going to go and recover our crew member and then depart the scene. And hopefully they can tow it without sinking it.
They took the boat out and they had a wake at a wrong angle and cracked the hull. That was yesterday, so they're just trying to recover it today.
The transmission is almost unreadable.
The men tie on the dinghy and the tow is underway. But with the salvage effort going slowly, Greg decides to be a good Samaritan.
So we might just be nice and tow it down there if there's nothing else really happening.
But with the dinghy upturned, the tow to Waiheke could take up to 4 hours. So the crew prepares to right it and pump it out so they can make better speed. But even with Alpha's power, the dinghy remains hull up. So the most experienced swimmer on board, Erica, draws the short straw.
Yeah, change of plan, we're going to put Erica in the water now. Just going to go put the cleat on the rope on the back cleat, and then we'll just haul it over. The idea is we're going to barge this boat alongside us as much as we can. Just watch out for anything in the water, eh? Like fuel.
Despite Erica's efforts, the dinghy just won't right.
Change of plan again. So we're just not going to ride over very easily, so we're just going to barge it alongside us, upside down like it is. On three. 1, 2, 3.
With the dinghy barged, it's a long, slow trip to Waiheke, but the vessel has definitely seen better days.
The boat's pretty well knackered. There's a lot of rot and stuff, looks like dry rot through the hull. Just found out from one of the crew members it's actually the father's boat and it's not actually one of their friends. So I think the family on board are quite concerned that this boat makes it back safely. We're just going to dump it and run pretty much.
And just when Erica thought it was all over, Greg's got some bad news.
Is that your togs on still, Erica?
Oh, guess what?
You've got to go in the water.
At least it's only 0.9 deep.
My front.
No sooner is the job complete,
No worries, guys.
then they get a call about another boat in trouble. So Alpha responds immediately. A group of teenagers out sailing have a man overboard.
What's the person in the water? Straight towards the pilings?
Straight back towards the piles from here?
Yeah. 4 people on the yacht. Reported they've had an engine trouble, and now we've just found out they've got one person in the water, 300 metres behind their yacht, swimming back towards them apparently. Got a life jacket on. We'll just see if we can find him somewhere in the water here.
The crew soon spot the man up ahead.
Safely recovered. Cheers. Boom, straight across, knock me straight off.
He's wet and cold, but otherwise none the worse for wear.
You did a good effort to swim out, I was more scared than birds, eh? They all started circling.
With everyone accounted for, the crew prepares to tow the yacht back to shore.
Just going to tow him back into Okahu Bay, put them back on the finger.
Alright? Yep, no, that's right, mate. Cheers.
And after their close encounter with the Hauraki Gulf, the yacht's crew are very glad to be back on dry land.
The first sail of the season, and things just didn't go right. Then the engine stopped, which is the start of the trouble when we lost VJ, which wasn't so bad. But
overall, they've realised the lesson, I think, and I think they will make sure that they look after each other. The best thing was they all had their life jackets on, so they were making sure they were nice and safe. Other than that, it's another day that they can go boating next week and be happy and survive. So for us, it was a good job.